In 2009, I received my doctoral degree, and I conducted a national study in America related to the challenges of women. And I wanted to write a book back then. And my own struggles, I think, have really led me to the point of writing the book now. In addition to, I do believe in God, and I believe it's, God's timing as to what happens with us and when we decide to do things. And again, because of the current state of affairs in America related to women and around the globe, I think this is the perfect time for this book. My struggles include, although having a doctoral degree, I've hit the glass ceiling. I haven't in the past been able to receive higher wages, although I've been in management positions. I've worked for various levels of government all my life, and working on high-profile organizational change projects and social change projects, I feel like I've made a difference. But then I always question, well, why am I not getting, that salary raise? And so I think that's a really important thing for me to pass on to especially younger girls and women who are trying to plan their career. I want to be a mentor to teach others about the struggles I've had so that hopefully I can help them break that glass ceiling. So my book is called The High Heel Footprint. It's a womanifesto. And the book is about finding your best strengths and stepping into your best shoes every day. It doesn't mean you have to wear high heels. The metaphor came about when I was in a conference related to the environmental footprint. And the environmental footprint means saving our earth, our land, and our seas. And we want to decrease our environmental footprint. And I'm sitting there in this conference going, oh my gosh, high heels. We want to increase the high heel footprint. And because of the state of affairs of what's happening in our world right now, and especially in America, I decided to write a book to inspire and empower women and girls. Okay. So again, my book is it's an extension of my doctoral research, and I'm also the diversity chair for federally employed women in the United States of America. And so I am always maintaining up-to-date statistics regarding women in the workforce, women in education, women in everything pretty much. So people come to me as the go-to research guru on women. So I wanted this book to be based on objectivity, not subjectivity. So I try to eliminate my opinion in the book. So I have some figures and tables related to statistics that women can actually look at and say, oh wow, yeah, we're still making 80 cents to the dollar compared to men. Or, oh wow, look at how many women have higher graduation rates from college and universities compared to men. So we have made strides. So I do provide statistics. I provide examples of women throughout the globe in various cultures. So beyond America, women in various cultures have had their own struggles, and I talk about that. I talk about the personal development of the woman. And I talk about how we need men who are honorable to lift us up. So this is not about men bashing at all. I love men, but I want men to be honorable. And I want to lift them up as well. And my message in the book is, if you're a man reading this book, I applaud you. Thank you. And what could you do to help us? Help change social values so that we can all be on the same playing field, so that we can all have honor and respect as human beings. So some strategies for the personal development of the individual include, what are you doing on your free time? And there's so many things. I coined this mind massage. You would go get a massage if your body was aching, wouldn't you? So why wouldn't you massage your mind? And that could be anything from meditating. Maybe you pray. Maybe you're going on a walk. Maybe you go exercise. What is it that you do that will massage your mind? Okay, because we first need to find our center. We need to be calm. We need to really reflect on whatever our issues are so that we can really think of a plan to try to solve those issues. Mentoring is huge. In your personal life, If you don't have a mentor, I highly, highly recommend that you find a mentor, whether it be a professor, a family member, a friend, and this could be men too. So both men and women. I have a male mentor. I have female mentors. Some of my best friends from the federally employed women are my mentors. And I bounce ideas and I check myself. You know, I ask for help with my goal setting. You know, set your goals. And as far as organizations go, I have a call to organizations to also step up the high heel footprint. Like, what are you doing to eliminate those barriers for women? What are you doing to eliminate both unconscious bias and pretty much in-your-face bias? And I've experienced both, and that's not okay. In fact, if I had a magic wand, I would say to all HR departments in every organization, when you get an application, remove the name of the person who's applying and remove where they're from, so that you don't know if it's a man or a woman or what culture they are, and you're not making assumptions, so that you're going to choose the best person for the job based on their strengths. A big social change topic that I would like to discuss, it's called gender mending, because this is not about male bashing. Let's mend the genders. And how can we do that? It's about healing these wounds that have been created, the divide between the genders as a result of, again, the current state of affairs in America. And you know, how do we fix that? How do we move forward so that, you know, women are feeling validated and men are not feeling afraid, you know, to be in the same room with a woman right now? Because again, there are those wonderful, honorable men, and if we can somehow get us together in a room and you know, facilitate some dialogue, I think that would be really helpful. Even though the title of the book is called The High Heel Footprint, I do say in the book that, you know, if you're a man reading this book, I applaud you, because you have shoes too. And this book is not about heels. I even have women saying, I don't wear heels. This book doesn't relate to me. Well, it's not about heels. It's just the metaphor, right? It's the metaphor of stepping into your best shoes and your best self. I actually mentioned to one of my previous colleagues, he was having a really down day once, and I said, well, you know, you have the power to change your emotions right now and your attitude. I said, what shoes did you choose this morning? He says, yeah, I do, don't I? He goes, that's the best thing I've heard all day. So yes, men, you can step in his shoes too. And also, like I said before, is you can help amplify women. For example, if you're in a boardroom and you hear a female colleague give a great idea and it's ignored, and then the meeting continues, and then you hear a gentleman in the room say that same idea and everybody goes, hurrah! Well, if you're that other woman or colleague in the room, you need to amplify your friend, your colleague, female colleague who said that, and say, oh, well, so-and-so just said that. That was a great idea. And amplify her, because this is common, you know, where women are not being heard and they have great ideas. I think one of the good things that came out of the Me Too movement where women had the courage, you know, to talk about what happened to them, and it really brought this issue to the forefront. And so again, I just wanted to mention it. It was a really good example of how women are amplifying their voices now and having that courage to lift each other up and saying, and telling their story. Hey, this happened to me. Oh, wow, well, this happened to me too, right? So they were sharing that story, and it gave them the courage to move forward, right? So that became a movement. That's powerful. So let's create more movements together. Let's create more dialogue. Let's create more solutions so that we could find a happy medium to, again, just heal our world. I think that the Kavanaugh hearings, for example, is a really challenging topic to discuss. I don't know Mr. Kavanaugh, and he's obviously very qualified to be a Supreme Court justice. He's gone to school and he's worked really hard to get to where he's at. I don't discount that at all. However, Dr. Ford was very much discounted. And that's not okay. She had a story that she was telling. She had witnesses that were not interviewed. And again, my book is not political, but that's a great example of women voicing their experience. Hey, this happened to me. And the politics got in the way. The politics of choosing to ignore her story, to put a person into office, got in the way. Again, I don't discount that Mr. Kavanaugh was qualified, but why was she ignored, and why were there not further inquiry? We live in the United States of America where justice is supposed to prevail. And this is a great example of what I was saying that's number one with anybody in organizations is trust. I think that we have really turned away people's trust with our government. And it's a shame. So when things are out of our control, the only thing that we can control is us. We can control our attitude, our emotions, our choices. Do we make value-added choices, choices that are not value-added? Those are the things that we need to be thinking about every single day. And I think that that's also the message in my book is when you can't control something else, you can't control yourself. So what are you doing about it? Are you going to sit there and complain? Or are you going to do something about it? So I'd like to read two quotes from two of my favorite women in this book. Well, they're all my favorites, but one of them is from the Honorable Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. And she says, "Don't mistake politeness for lack of strength." The other one is from Lady Gaga. She says, "Do not allow people to dim your shine because they're blinded. Tell them to put on some sunglasses because we were born this way, baby." So I have several women, powerful women quotes, but I chose Honorable Sonia Sotomayor because she, as well as the other women on the court, hold the highest position in the land of America. They're Honorable Supreme Court Justices. And Lady Gaga is an icon in America, in the world. And when people like that talk and have something to say, especially these women, other people listen. And so these are the type of strong, smart women that are amplifying and backing up other women. And my final quote is from me. Dr. Mo says, "Define your high-heel footprint and find your purpose."